Hola, it's Jessica here. I want to share with you my Thanksgiving table as well as show you how I made these fabulous DIY charger plates. This year I was going for more of a textured table, very simplistic texture table, and it was a great time to go shopping right after Halloween to pick up fall decor that was about 75% off at Joann's, or most major craft stores have stuff on sale. I really wanted to add texture in the charger plates once I saw these wreath kits that I found at the store. And I didn't want to clutter my table because it's not a show table, it's a functioning table that we use. I also know once we get into Thanksgiving and we have all the food ready, people are going to be using the table to put food. We're probably going to have to cram more people in here. Bless you, Mama. And plus the food you make for everyone does get put on the table as well. So I didn't want to clutter anything up and have to move it and block people's view from talking to each other. So I really just wanted to keep a low profile and more texture. All right, let's get into it. Let me show you how I made these DIY charger plates. All right, you're gonna need craft plywood or chipboard. This one is 3 millimeters thick or 1/8 inch thick. And this size is 12 inches by 24 inches. You can get 2 charger plates out of one board, and it runs about $5 at a big chain craft store, but coupons are always great. More supplies you'll need are sandpaper, any grit will work, painter's tape, a box cutter or a small handsaw. I ended up using both because my small handsaw had this part that would block me from cutting through. If you want to use a large handsaw, I wouldn't recommend that because this wood is so thin and it might rip the wood. And even with the tape technique that I'm going to show you, it might not work. Box cutter if you don't have a small handsaw. You'll also need a straight edge. Now is a really great time to shop for fall decor since the stores need room for Christmas decor, and I found these fall wreath kits on sale for $3.35 each, and I used 3 kits to make 4 chargers. You'll also need hot glue and hot glue gun to put this together. So I needed to cut the wood in half lengthwise to create 2 12-inch by 12-inch squares. If you put the tape all around where you're going to be cutting the wood, you'll get a cleaner cut and minimize the wood from splitting or chipping. Then using my handsaw, I cut following the line. So I kind of got stuck on my handsaw because of that part I told you about earlier, and I did both sides as far as I could. Then I took my box cutter and I just followed the line that I had marked, and I just scored, and I kept scoring until I was making a deep enough mark. Then I flipped this board over, and this is why I didn't mark the back side initially, is I went ahead and just connected my lines so that I know it's on the same line as the front. Using my straight edge, I drew the line, and then I went through with the X-Acto knife and I kept scoring and scoring until it was a deeper cut. And once I got a deep enough cut, which is actually not as deep as you're thinking, I went ahead and gently started to bend the wood, and so that it would follow that line that I made with the box cutter. Just crack it in half. If you don't have a handsaw, this is the technique you're going to use. So you're just going to make sure that you're scoring it enough and deep enough on both sides so that your lines are lined up and it'll crack evenly. Now just sand your cut edges and remove the tape. Now you're just going to hot glue. So there's no real pattern or rhyme. I just used what I had. I put my plate on the charger, and I knew I was going to have more space in the corner, so I put my bigger, larger pieces or flowers in the corner. And then on the centers of each side, I used a lower profile piece, so like my medium pieces. And then I filled in with grass around the edges. Then I put in my small flowers to add color and texture. Just be careful not to burn yourself. I kind of burned myself a few times on this one, but you just got to be a little bit more mindful. And then I checked my pieces. So I put my plates back on the charger to see if there was any open space that you can really just see the wood. And I didn't want to see complete wood. I didn't mind it peeking through. And so I backfilled with this grass
to make sure that they were covered. It was definitely easier to leave the center just plain wood so that it wouldn't have to like balance on uneven flowers or twigs or grass. So, and I kind of like the way it looked. It was just very textured on the outside and clean on that center part. First thing I laid out was a scrap piece of fabric I had. I made a scarf out of this one. I ironed it, and mine was about 27 inches. If you buy new, probably buy a yard. Then you just want to lay out your charger plates. Don't they look so cute? Now, if you need help with table etiquette and table setup, I did find a video on YouTube that I will put the link in the description box. It's very helpful, informative, and easy to follow. That was it. You're just hot gluing. I hope I inspired you. It's a very impactful DIY for wanting to keep minimal items on your table, but really add texture.
For the centerpiece, I do want to remind you they're not tied together in any special way. So if you like something like this, then I just laid the grass this way, laid the grass that way, and laid this over the center. So it is just laying on the table, nothing fancy, but it looks really nice. And let me know if you do yours. I love hearing when you guys tell me that you done your own or it helped you in some way. Don't forget to thumb it up and speak it and spread it. That helps me out. Hit the notification buttons, by the way, because I'm going to be on top of Christmas this year, and I'm going to get some DIYs out to you guys. So God bless. Bye-bye.
Baby.
Who is that? Is that Dr. Cara?
Yeah, that's the Gaba.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Close enough. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching.
Number 14.